So, overall voter turnout for all undergraduates for this year's executive and board rep election, 15.86%, 4,582 votes.
Well, to be honest, although we always would want voter turnout to be higher, the greatest fear of ours was that voter turnout would be less than 10% dismal. However, the election office is actually quite happy that we managed to get above 15%. We all know it could have been much worse, and because of that, like, as an office, like, we're celebrating just this fact.
All right.
The number of uncontested races, basically this is something that the elections office can't really control when it comes to the executive races. Of course, we always want people to run for office because it improves the quality of democracy. And I sure as heck hope that next year's executive elections there will be such a huge number of candidates that the election office won't know what to do with themselves.
So the winner is RORY TIGHE.
Look presidential. Look presidential. Get that chest out.
Really good. I'm really excited about all the VPs and myself getting into the position. I'm ready to work right away. I'm ready to start initiating our goals right away, and I'm really excited to get started. What really came out in the elections is getting more students involved, especially, I mean, in governance, obviously, and in other opportunities. So I think right away we're going to need to start brainstorming concrete ways to get students involved, the volunteer opportunities and other ways to get students into governance positions. I don't think anybody wants another race where we're uncontested, and I think we need to get more students interested and involved in the Students' Union and in just on-campus activities.
Emerson CSORBA received 3,334 78%.
Well, it's too bad that there wasn't more people voting, but at the same time, like, one thing that I'm going to really work on next year is connecting with first-year students and making sure that they become part of the SU early on. So I'm hoping that if we put in enough effort next year, that we will get enough people that ensure that we have more people voting next year.
FARID ISKANDAR received 2,448 first place votes at 57%.
First thing I want to do is learn what VP External exactly does, because you don't exactly get to know any exact position until you do it for about 4 months. But my first goal when it comes to my platform is to have on-campus polling station for multiple constituencies, because provincial and federal elections are coming up pretty quick, and we need to get as many people to vote as possible, and it's not going to be an easy thing to get done, but I think the first thing I really am excited for is the polling stations on campus for provincial elections especially.
And CHEEMA received 3,424
Well, as for my campaign, I'd say it was well organized, and I can't take credit for that personally. I have to give that to my campaign manager, Sammy Sharif. Did an amazing job of organizing the materials, the volunteers, helping me with the speeches, helping me with everything. So I want to thank my campaign manager and my entire campaign team, as well as all my friends who supported me, as well as everybody who voted for me.
RAPHAEL LEPAGE FORTIN received 3,100.
Well, one of the things that I talked about was social media, and I found at this point I really have to start on it so that it can grow. So that's something I'm going to jump onto. It might look like a joke, but the pig was just to get your attention, and I'm glad it did. Like, I don't really care if you came out to vote against me or for me. I'm just glad that I got you out to vote.
Fall Reading Week. Yes votes, 2,499, 55%. No votes, 2,059, 45%.
The data that we got from the plebiscite is very consistent with what we saw in the undergraduate student survey. In the undergraduate student survey, we had 56% say that they would be willing to come back a week early in order to have a fall reading week, and 27% said that voted no, and then we had about 16% that said they didn't have an opinion on it. So it's clear that students want this, and that was clear when we talked with them. Whether or not this is the option, not necessarily the case. I think it gives us enough of a mandate to say we're going to explore this further. Whether or not this is the option we go with, I think that'll be something we'll have to work on in the next couple years.